in front of us,
Okay.
huh?
Don't block the beauty.
Well, welcome, folks. Great to be here. Another year's gone by. It's time here in the month of November to have a brief public hearing on our title grant funds. Everybody's had an opportunity to sign our sign-in sheet. We do retain that for our state ed files. And we're going to talk briefly about the purpose and acceptable use of funds. Difference between school-wide and targeted assistance plans, the funding levels and budget, some AIS information, and parent involvement is a perennial in this process as well. Oh, thank you very much. And the federal title grant program is designed to help students served by the program to achieve proficiency on challenging state standards. And we are also required to provide services for eligible private school students that are equitable. In this case, we're talking St. Bernard's School. An example of acceptable use of the funds, see employee salaries and benefits, recruitment and retention of highly qualified teachers, professional development for staff, parental involvement, non-public school services, supplies and educational materials. Here's a slide that breaks down $244,696 of our allotment. You can see our AIS teachers in Petrova and Bloomingdale, a reading teacher in the middle school, title grant coordinator, and then we also see the St. Bernard's School piece of that right there. The remainder of the funds, we have a educational consultant speaking to Tier 2A interventions in our school district for the Gen Ed classroom. And there's that's on a 10-month coaching cycle for grades K through 5 at $43,000. We are also required to have a set aside for homeless and unaccompanied youth. And we see that for 6 students at $1,075 gives you $6,450. The remainder of Title 1A, as we can see, breaking down into teacher retirement, Social Security, health insurance, dental insurance, and workers' compensation. Title II is also a place where we see professional development going on with personal learning communities. We have supplies and materials as well for K-12 math professional development, building the thinking classrooms in math. You see how the 3 kits there at $480 a piece. Benefits are also here in the Title IIA with teacher retirement, Social Security, and workers' compensation. With also St. Bernard's piece of the puzzle, that goes to the diocese in Ogdensburg, and that's put into professional development for their staff. Title IV, and we see here with the stipends for staff attending after school instructional technology focused professional learning. And that's aimed at K-8 staff there, 36 staff members. Professional learning for staff to improve instruction and student engagement in STEM, as well as strengthening instruction in American history, civics, economics, geography, government, and environmental well-rounded education. And also we have professional learning for staff to provide high quality personalized learning and improve academic achievement via integrated effective use of instructional technology. You see there allotment for 210 hours on task with that. And finally, with Title IV, school mental health supports for safe and healthy students. We see St. Bernard's piece of the puzzle there with their iReady interventions and reading accounts for identified students. And then we see a small amount of benefits as well, rounding out Title IV. And academic intervention services are services designed to help students achieve the learning standards in English language arts and math, K-12, and social studies and science in grades 4 through 12. And the important thing here is there's two components: additional instruction that supplements the general curriculum, regular classroom instruction, and/or student support services needed to address barriers to improve academic performance. And parental involvement plan, that's something that we have going here. We even had a work session a couple of years ago on that, all part of our board policies. Keeping really good communication back and forth between home and school, and hearing more and more about how things are really dealt with in a timely manner. We're hearing that again and again, even last night at our sports winter sports meeting, talking about the different things that are going on in the middle school to get to students earlier, where particularly in my day coming up through public education, it was more 5 weeks in, or when that report card was published, and there's a lot more back and forth, a lot more partnering going on. So that's just bringing us through some more of our district language there. So, and this has not changed since last year's public hearing as well. We do have a published complaint procedure where folks are able to get with us in a variety of different ways. And we do have in our presentation, I believe has been shared to everybody, the link to the required yearly family notification document. And then we have open lines of communication as well here. At this point, I know we have a full agenda for the regular board meeting coming up. I'd like to open up any questions people might have.
I have a question. How is the total dollar amount determined? Like, do we decide what we think fits under Title I or Title, whichever category, and apply for it, and then it's awarded, or are we awarded a certain amount and then we use it accordingly? How is
Yeah,
it?
I really should have broken that down a little bit more in the beginning of the presentation. It is part of a formula with free and reduced lunch. So that's how a lot of that money is determined, with the ability for our school district to work within those acceptable use of funds to best use those funds in the big picture of our school district. And Diane, will add more details there.
No, that's exactly correct.
Okay, so the money is based on the formula and the number of kids that fit into that,
Correct.
whatever demographic. We have a total number, and then we use it.
It comes for Title I, comes for Title II.
Okay,
Some years we get Title IV, some years we don't qualify. So it does come targeted to the Title I, which is really pretty direct student support. Title is really low income rural area money that's set aside for that. You are able to move some money between categories if you wish to, but the categories are very broad. So there's really room. Many of the things that we do would fit in any one of those title grants, so we really don't end up having to move money around.
so then we try to fit, to use that money, so we don't have to take it out of
Correct.
local tax
Correct.
as much as we can. So then I guess my next question is, is this funding at risk?
Yeah,
It always is at risk, probably every year it's at risk, but maybe perhaps more
and
so.
it goes down every year.
Oh, you mean it has steadily
Yes,
gone down?
steadily decreased.
So it's kind of going in that.
They're anticipating that Title II will go away. They've been working their way to phasing it out.
Okay.
Every now and again, we wind up being one of the school districts in Title V funding. But boy, I think we've probably only seen maybe 2 or 3 times at most in the past 10 years.
That's my mistake, Seth. We always get Title IV, it's Title V. Yes, sorry, I apologize on that. We always get Title IV. It's Title V that some years we qualify, some years we do not.
So we'll just
And
have
that's
to
the
see.
rural community money. Title IV is technology and more STEM. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, sorry
Yeah,
for my
that's all right.
confusion.
I'm just curious, so we just adjust our budget based on what we make.
Correct.
Coming our way. Okay.
We always budget conservatively with our title grants because every year they're decreasing.
You can see at times as Title II has shrunk, that's taken the ability to use that funding for certain things where you just can't quite fit the whole dollar amount within the amount that you're allocated.
Right.
So it's one of those things where we've been told along the lines of, Title II to be pretty well braced for reductions as we've gone. And I think we've seen it as high up as over 80,000 one year. And you can see a trend on the downward slope of that.
So is it just, I know we have time for the next meeting anyway, is it federal, how much is put into the federal budget each year, which is then sifts through to all our?
It's federal money that is then filtered through New York State Education Department. So they take some money off the top.
Yeah,
Then there's a magical formula
right,
that
okay,
how they and it is based on poverty rates,
Mhm.
free and reduced rates.
okay, thanks.
We reach out to all of the private schools close by to make sure that we're eligible students in their schools. And it's always data pulled from Ben's Day in early October. And occasionally we'll find out about different schools even a little farther away. We had to reach out to one area very close to Lake Champlain, and it turned out we've never even had a student of ours. So sometimes it's an interesting journey going and partnering with the state to make sure that we've done our due diligence to reach out to anybody that might be out there, because sometimes we don't even have the access to the record keeping to know of a student, particularly say a kindergartner. And so it's an interesting process to be a part of for sure. And one repeating theme that I've seen throughout my time collaborating on this is it's always every dollar is respected and used the best it can be for our big picture in our school district, particularly through changing times. Any other questions?
Thank you, Seth.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do. Great to see you next.
We'll take a short recess.
May I make a suggestion?
Amen.
I have no more than 12 minutes of executive session. Any interest in
Doing that first.
doing that first so that we're not doing it later? Okay.
Frank, I know you're leaving. We could go into the other room too.
We could go